Chapman Turner Overdrive here on the Q96.5 FM, and I'll tell you what, you go from having nobody in here with you to having a full house, and I have exactly that right now, and that's always my favorite way of being, treated here on a Friday. Denver Henderson with me right now. We're going to talk a little bit about the Fountain City Festival. Good morning, Denver.
Good morning, everyone.
How are you, buddy?
I'm busy and tired and excited and here.
Yeah. You guys, I'm sure, have been just absolutely going like crazy in the last few weeks.
Our last regular rehearsal was last night. We were going into Tech Week and just rehearsal and performance next Thursday. So it's a madhouse.
Yeah, I bet it is a madhouse.
But the secret is never letting them see you sweat or stress.
That's exactly it, and you are a master at that. I've always heard that about you. That's the important part, Denver.
I don't know if it's acting or lying, but something's going on.
Well, it could be a little both.
Both, yes.
That's what I'm
Well, Laurence Olivier once said, "What is acting but lying?" So
there you go. Exactly.
And having just come from Washington, you probably got a lot of that.
I saw some acting.
And on the other side of the table, Mr. Jeffrey Erb from the Main Stops. Jeff, how are you, buddy?
Good morning, Jim. I'm good.
Yeah, Jeff normally comes in on Thursday, but he was in Washington, as Denver alluded to there, so he just joined us today. And as always, Denver, this is the reason we love having Jeff, not only because he's a great guy, but you see, he brings goodies all the time.
Yes.
That's a good news.
He basically brought a box of Wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. There's no doubt about that.
There's sunshine in there.
Yeah.
You were in Washington, D.C. for a week, Jeff.
Yeah. For most of the week. And, down there talking with business folks, National Retail Federation. We were hanging out and strategizing, and then went up to the Hill and visited with our Ohio delegation down there, the senators and congressmen, and tried to explain to them and answer questions about business and what we'd like to see happen with the budget and this and that. And
so give me a couple of. Me and Denver are both sitting here wanting. We're sitting with bated breath, Denver, aren't we? What were you trying? What were you lobbying for here this time?
The number one thing,
sure,
and I think they've already accomplished it, but you've heard of the BAT tax, BAT with a B, and it's the border access tax, and of course, retail is against that because Macy's, Target, any of the big retail, and actually any retail, anything that comes over that border would be taxed at a rate of 20 or 25%, depending on the company, which is going to raise the cost probably to consumers 20 to 25%.
Well, yeah, because you're going to put profit on top of that. That's the American way. We got to take that 20 and we got to make a margin on that, and then we add it to the bottom line.
And the truth of it is, companies do not pay taxes. Yes, they write checks to the government, but the customers of those companies pay taxes.
Sure.
The companies don't have, vaults of money sitting around to pay taxes. It comes from somewhere. Where does it come from? It comes from consumers. So it comes from the price of goods.
Yeah, no doubt.
So if you raise a cost to a business has to raise the cost to the consumer.
Yep.
So so that's ultimately who gets it. So we're trying to protect our customers, and that's why we're down there. So I think they've got the job done. I think most of the folks we talked to have already agreed that they don't like it and they're worried about it.
Sure.
Now, there's backroom deals. You know how these things work, and there's trade-offs, so it could come back. But we think it's dead. So
good. Well, that's good news. See, that's why another reason why we like Jeff. He goes and gets things done, Denver. You know what I mean? He goes over to Washington, and the things that we say, hey, go get it done for us, Jeff. And then Jeff, as you saw by the pictures, he gets all the wheels.
Well, he entered the halls of Congress, which means he's a braver man than I'll ever be.
That's terrible, man. That is.
It is quite an interesting.
Your
place.
fortitude is amazing. And the fact that you didn't use a lot of four-letter words while you were there is even more amazing.
No, we didn't. Yeah, the nice part is the Ohio delegation. Being from Ohio, our congressmen and our senators are decent people. Rob Portman and Sherrod Brown are great guys.
Sure.
Now, they're diametrically opposed. But honestly, gentlemen, good, hardworking folks, and so agree with them or disagree with them, they are gentlemen, and and I appreciate that about our guys. Now, that's not the case for everybody's people down there. There's some, well, you see TV. There's some crazy people down there.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think if they could all get together and work with one another the way those two do most of the time, I think we would have much better situations and outcomes for us right at this point.
Yeah.
And they do lose that. I was listening to that last night. Somebody on the radio was talking about that. How they all say we're going to Washington to work for you, and then they get to Washington, they forget who they were going to work for.
Yeah.
Well, I think they all need a copy of Chris Matthews' book, The Gipper and Tip, about the relationship between Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill. That after 5 o'clock, they got stuff done.
Yeah,
I mean, there was politics during the day, but then they needed to get the government working.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
and that's the way it worked. I mean, if you go back to the 60s, how we got civil rights passed, that's how it happened.
That's it.
You took a stand and then you compromised.
Exactly. And we need to start doing a little more of that. And it looks like maybe that's starting to happen.
Well, to that point, Larry Kudlow was a featured speaker during one of our sessions.
Sure.
And he has written a book, and he talks about that exact point. He goes back and he talks about Jack Kennedy. And how he did the first big tax cut for many years, and he had to work with a Congress that basically opposed him.
Right.
But he was able to do that. They were able to come together and get it done. And then Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill, and that's the whole premise of his book, is that you can do this even if you have a Congress that is not cooperative. There are ways to get things done.
Exactly.
So he was urging President Trump to take that tact.
Yeah, and when you talk, John F. Kennedy, all of a sudden Denver's ears perk up, because that's one of his favorites. Just no doubt about that.
Yeah.
He goes back to those, and that is one of his idols. I believe.
He and his brother Robert. I do a one-man show of RFK.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah.
It's fun. Talking about shows, Denver, you have one coming up. It's the Addams Family.
Yes, Addams Family the Musical at the Fountain City Festival. It'll be the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th at the Arts and Ed here in Bryan, Ohio. Tickets are available at the Chamber of Commerce and also online at fcflive.com. I have been privileged to direct this production. I've been joined by my producer, Casey Allman, my choreographer, Katie Shar out of Antwerp, and Michael Moisenko from Montpelier. Talk about hardworking people. Talk about compromise. Talk about having to get along. You've got
they know how to do it.
Teenagers and older folks and everybody in between, and they come together and they don't know what they're doing. So at the beginning, and then we shape them, and it's all compromise. It's all getting along. But I will hands down say that this is probably the hardest working cast I've had the privilege of working with.
Wow. From
the moment they got the parts to this moment now, they have done nothing but work inside and outside that theater on what needs to be done.
Wow.
And it shows.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It all starts next weekend. Goes for how long then?
The 27th through the 30th.
Wow. So it's a one weekend run.
Yep, that's FCF shows are only one weekend.
You know what? I'd forgotten that.
Yes.
Because I know when you go downtown with the Playhouse downtown.
Yeah. We do.
That's a couple weeks.
Yeah, we do 2 weeks. We do 10 weekends. They used to do 10 days straight.
Yeah.
But now it's just 2 weekends. But yeah, FCF has always been just one show, one weekend, bam, at this summer. We are the summer show.
Fantastic. Denver Henderson and Mr. Jeff Erb are my guests right now, and we're going to hang with these guys for a little bit. But again, they don't call us classic hits for nothing, so we're back into music right now. 13 after 10. You've got the Q 96.5 FM. I think we could probably make a lot of money if we just recorded all of the times that we were not on the air and then put that out as kind of a best of. You know what I mean?
Either that or we'd be drawing unemployment. I don't know which.
That could be a possibility too. Yep.
Yeah, there probably would have to be a warning label.
Yeah.
On that CD.
Yeah, definitely.
Jeff Herb from the Main Stops and Denver Henderson with the Fountain City Festival with my guest here in this hour. And you know what? When the timing kind of worked the way that it did today, and I knew both of you were coming, but I wasn't sure exactly what time. And then kind of both came in the door at the same time. I thought, man, I got two guys here, and I could deal with either one of them. We could fill up an hour, but to have them both here together is probably going to be a lot of fun because I really like talking to both of these guys. All right, Denver, I'm going back to you here first. How's that?
That
this
sounds
Adams
good.
Family. How in the world did you come up with that as the production for this year?
You know, when we were holding auditions for Little Mermaid last year, one of our board members, who I think had been to a production of it, said, "Oh, that's a good show. I think we should do it." And I, just off the cuff, said, "Well, if you do it, I'll direct." I never gave it a second thought. Well, I'll be darned if they didn't take me at my word, because here I am. Adams, it came out, it hit Broadway in 2010, so it's been around for about 7 years.
Okay.
So, and it's fast becoming a community theater repertoire show.
Okay.
A lot of community theaters do it, so it's all across the country.
Yeah.
And it's a fun show to do. It's not Oklahoma. It's not stuff like that.
Sure.
It's got some really good tunes, and it's the Addams Family. They're creepy. They're weird. It's a great show.
So how do you was it the Thing or the Thing?
Yeah,
was
well,
the
yeah,
end,
yeah.
Right? Am I because we all watched the Addams Family,
Right.
when we
Yeah.
were younger.
Thing is usually just whoever happens to be in the wings that can stick their hand out, and it's not really in the script. So.
Okay.
Yeah. And neither is Cousin It.
Okay.
By the way.
There's no Cousin It either.
No.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, I'm
Those were
sorry.
two of my
No
favorites
Cousin
of
It.
the-
No
of the
Cousin.
entire
Yeah,
program.
no Cousin.
And I was wondering, because it was easy to do in black and white TV. I mean,
Right.
you got a little table, and you probably sat somebody who's rather diminutive inside that little
Right,
box, and
right.
they put their arm up and they do their thing out of that little box.
yeah.
Okay. Not quite as easy to pull off on stage on live theater.
No. Now, if you are in a Broadway show, you can do things like hidden doors and such.
Sure.
But we have a limited space, so it's usually just from off stage.
Okay.
Somebody sticks their hand out.
Generally, if you're watching that on Broadway, is there a Thing and a Cousin It on Broadway then?
There's a Thing. There's not a
Okay.
Cousin It.
Okay,
So.
all right. That would be hard to recreate, Jeff. You remember, Cousin It, right?
Absolutely.
All the hair and everything.
Yeah, I could see lots of medical bills. How do you get around in that?
Yeah, exactly.
And walk off the edge of the stage.
Right.
I think that's why
running
they
into
did.
things.
That's why they didn't have Cousin It. The liability was just off the charts. So, no Cousin It.
So tell me some of the lead characters right now. Who are playing Morticia and all these?
Okay, for Gomez, we have Cord Earhart from Antwerp, Ohio.
Okay.
Morticia is Leslie Ann Wheeler from here in Montpelier. Wednesday Adams is played by Melissa Tippin.
Okay.
Pugsley is by Willie Maddox. Great kid. His first big show, and he's doing wonderful. Then we have the Beinecke family, which are the normal people that come to meet the Adamses. And by the way, they're from Ohio in the show. So Ohio is like code word on Broadway for normal, boring people.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's why this is such a great place to live.
I know. We are the bellwether for everything. Nathan Butler plays Mal Beinecke. Megan Allman plays Alice Beinecke. Josh Kuhn plays Lucas Beinecke. Casey Allman plays Uncle Fester. Amy Von Dalen plays Grandmama. And then we have a whole chorus of ancestors who come back to life.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting production, I'm sure. Been a lot of fun.
Oh, it's been a blast. It's the best way to spend my summer. It really is. It's the best way to spend my summer. I'm around creative people who are, as we were mentioning during the break, that are completely different from me in their normal everyday lives, that have a passion for theater, and I've made great friends through theater. When I moved back to Bryan, I almost left because I didn't have anything to do, and I went to WCCT, and it has opened doors to me, and I've made some of the best friends I've had in my entire life through theater. So.
Yeah. Sure.
It's a lot of fun.
And it's the hardest work and the most enjoyment you'll ever do without money.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other side of it. I don't think anybody realizes, Jeff. I mean, these guys are doing all this, and nobody's making a nickel on this production. I mean, it's just
FCF is
passion.
FCF is a little different. The creative team does get a small bit of money, but none of my actors are getting paid.
You're not paying that Herman guy anything.
I'm not paying him a dime. personally.
I hope there's no money exchanging hands to either one of the Herms. Now, his wife's not too bad, but that Eric guy, she's already got more money than he knows how to spend anyway. So there's really no need.
I really can't say anything because I need him for the next week. So he is a magnificent human being and an inspiration to everyone who meets him.
Eric and Chrissy do the sound, and the lights. They lights too.
Lights and sound,
Yeah,
yes.
so
They are tech gurus.
Oh, they are. There's no doubt.
They're amazing.
You couldn't pull things off most of the time without those two.
That's the other thing most people don't realize. You're actually seeing about 10% of everything that goes into it. We have an entire backstage crew, all of our props, lights, sound, our pit orchestra led by Polly Krause.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just actors and directors. It's a huge group of people that put these on.
How do you make the Addams Family a musical, I guess, is the thing that I'm curious
It
about.
took more talent than I have.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but it works really well. It works really well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
The opening number is brilliant.
Okay.
It's called When You're in Adams. It takes place in a graveyard. I mean, it's a great show. Come see it to see how they made the Addams Family into a
there you
musical.
go.
That's the only thing I can tell you.
Okay.
Tickets available at fcflive.com or at the Chamber of Commerce.
How much are the tickets?
$15, $10 for students and seniors.
Okay.
Or
So
$8 for students, $10
Works
for
out
seniors.
really well.
Yes.
Yeah, it really does. Jeff, I'll tell you that I think you got some weekend plans. Maybe
I am definitely going to see this. There is no question about it.
Oh, thank you.
For sure.
Good.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a fun time. The other side, you brought in a couple tickets to the ladies golf over the Marathon Classic in Toledo.
Yeah, it's going on right now.
Yeah, over at Sylvania. And I watched a little of that last night on the Golf Channel. Man, I wish I could hit a golf ball like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got to play there a couple weeks ago, and they had the grandstand set up, and
Yeah.
you know, they already had the course set up for the tournament. And now my score is going to be a lot different than these ladies' score, but I can't imagine coming up the fairways with all those folks watching you hit the ball, and these girls are so good.
Oh yeah, they are. I mean, and they're cute. They're athletic. Okay, they play great golf. Okay, they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What happened to me?
Yeah.
I guess
and it's such a great event. If there's folks out there who have never been, it's such a great event. It's a classy place. It's a nice place. It's not expensive to go to. The course is beautiful. It's just down the road.
Yeah.
You know, it's an hour away. So it's worth seeing.
It really is. What's going on at the main stops nowadays? I know Thirsty Thursday seems to be going really
Thirsty
well.
Thursday is going over very well, and we're gas prices. I've been out of town, but I've been keeping tabs on it, and there was a bit of a restoration, but it looks like if you listen to analysts, they say the gas market is getting stronger. Well, if it's getting stronger, that's bad for pulling up to a pump and putting gas in your car, because that means the prices are going up. Right now, it looks like it's after the restoration is pretty stable, so I don't think you'll see any price hikes this weekend. I think it's going to probably dribble down just a little bit.
There you go. See, we always know. I always get this tip on when to buy gas.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm getting his card before I leave.
It's for you and me, Denver. It's not a situation of getting a stock tip where you can make millions. Okay, we're just happy to save $5 on a tank full of gas.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why we love seeing Jeff come in all the time too. You know?
Yeah. Well, we want to make sure you have enough money to afford one of those awesome main stop coffees.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
Yeah. Thursdays they're 79 cents. Any coffee, any cappuccino, any fountain drink. Any size. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've been having a lot of fun. We went to the Wasion Cruise In Tuesday night, and we went to the Bryan Cruise In last night, and got a chance to talk to a lot of folks about that. And I think it's been a whole lot of fun going out and see the cars and everything. We just have a good time.
I'd like to share with you one of my favorite golf anecdotes.
There you go.
There was when General Grant was president, they put on a demonstration of golf for him, and the lawn of the White House, and the gentleman came out and put the ball down, and he went to tee off, and he missed it. And he tried again, and he missed it. And he did this about 6 or 7 times. He just kept missing the ball in front. He was frustrated. Finally, Grant took the cigar out of his mouth and said, "Young man, I can see where the exercise comes in, but what's the ball for?"
I hate to say that I relate to that.
Every golfer I've ever known is related to that.
Jeff Erb and Denver Henderson are with me right now. We're back into music. I'm not sure how long we're going to be able to keep either one of them. Maybe one more break before they need to sneak out of here, but we'll see after this from Steve Miller. Spinners here on the Q 96.5 FM. Last couple minutes here with two of my favorites, Jeff Erb and Denver Henderson. And Jeffrey, before you get out of here, what's going on with the main stops this week? Anything that people ought to be aware of?
Well, we're in summer mode right now.
Yep.
So we are stuffing the beer caves. We've got lots of ice cold beverages, adult beverages, and generic general beverages.
Sure.
Our ice chests are full. We've got pretty much anything you need for your summertime. If you're out there driving about, stop at a main stop and get what you need on your way.
If nothing else, Denver, today it's going to be 90 degrees. You need to just go into the beer cave.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we dial those beer caves down, so that beer's going to be
He
cold.
said the magic word, adult beverage.
And Denver, you actually have you're taking the crew and you're going to.
We are performing at the Moose. We're showcasing an excerpt for the Rotary this afternoon.
There you go.
And then we go into dress rehearsal week with Tech Sunday and performance. Wow. It's here.
Is it ready to go?
It's ready to go.
That's
I am a very confident director. And I can't say that a lot of times, but I'm a very confident director.
You've been in here with almost every show, and you're always invited, and we want you here for every show, okay? But there have been times when you sat there and went,
yeah.
a couple of rough edges we need to work off of here, and
This cast is ready.
Yeah, that sounds good.
This cast is ready.
One last time, the Addams Family coming up next week. What are the dates? How much are the tickets? All those things?
The 27th through the 30th at the Arts and Ed Auditorium here in Bryan. On 27, 28, 29, curtain up at 7:30. On Sunday, it's at 2 o'clock. You can get your tickets at the Bryan Area Chamber of Commerce or online at fcflive.com. They are $15, $10 for seniors, $8 for students.
Fantastic. Have a great show. Break a leg, all those kind of good things.
Jim, as always, thank you for having us on and helping the arts here in Northwest Ohio.
I wanted to ask you one last thing before I let you go. You tell the actors break a leg. What do you tell the director? And what's the good luck slogan that I'm supposed to tell Denver Henderson before he walks out?
Put another lime in the Corona.
Okay. Well, put another lime in the Corona. How's that?
I like that one. Do you have to be a director for that?
No.
Jeff, thanks as always, man, for the donuts.
It's good to see you, Jim.
Great seeing you.
I'm excited. I'm going to be coming to see the Addams Family.
Attaboy, that's what we like to hear.
Thank you very much. I can't wait to see you there.
For sure.
And no doubt. And don't forget Thirsty Thursdays every Thursday at all the main stops around the Northwest Ohio area. Any size, coffee, cappuccino, or fountain drink, just 79 cents. With that, guys, get out the door.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Always a pleasure. Good to meet you.
Yes, it's
nice
really
to meet you.